this is Muppets Go to the Movies, written by Logan Horberg, based on the Muppets and many, many movies. Interior apartment building hallway, day. The elevator doors open and in walk Waldorf and Statler.
All that over a foot massage?
Of course, over a foot massage. People are crazy nowadays.
Crazy enough to give a married woman a foot massage.
Crazy enough to tell people about it.
They reach the door to an apartment.
Hey, what time is it?
Time for this mess to start?
Waldorf looks at his watch.
Not quite. Let's hold back.
If we hold back too long, people are going to realize this whole thing is a bad idea.
Good point. The faster we get started, the faster we can finish.
Too bad we started in the first place.
They knock on the door and three nervous rat Muppets open it. Interior rat apartment continuous.
Hey, kids.
The two men stroll inside and the three rats are caught off guard.
How you boys doing?
No answer.
Am I tripping or did I ask you a question?
Sounded like one to me.
Maybe they assume if they don't answer, it'll be done quicker.
Nope. They don't answer, we're stuck here till they do.
Awkward silence. After a very long beat.
We're doing okay.
Oh, good. I thought they had caught our lack of interest.
And it would take too long for them to develop that little interest.
Just because we developed it on a day one.
Waldorf looks at the rats.
Do you know why we're here?
Rat one shakes his head. No.
We're associates of your business partner, Walt Disney. You remember your business partner, don't you?
No answer.
Now I'm going to take a wild guess here. You're Brett, right?
Rat one shakes no.
No, I'm a Brit.
Waldorf points to the next rat.
Right.
Statler looks to the remaining rat.
Brett, I presume?
Brett. Where's Brett?
There is no Brett.
Never has been.
Oh, you remember your business partner, Walt Disney, don't you, Brett?
Oh, I remember him.
He's a big mouse.
Good for you.
5 points for remembering.
I haven't remembered a single good thing for the last 45 years.
That's because we've been stuck with these clowns.
Good points.
Shouldn't we be moving along? We got like 9 other movies to got parody.
Look at the big brain on Brett, trying to keep us on track.
Someone's got to.
Waldorf turns back to the rats.
Well, Britt, Brat, and Brat, you know what we're here for?
The rats all nod.
Then why don't you tell my friend where you hit it?
It's on the...
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
But I thought you just did.
Yeah, you addressed all of us and asked us a question.
Did I?
You sure did.
You're probably right. I'm barely focusing as is.
Waldorf turns back to the rats.
You were saying?
It's under the bed.
Statler moves to the bed and reaches underneath it, pulling out a black snap briefcase.
Got it.
Statler flips up the 2 locks, opening the case. We can't see what's inside just yet, but a small glow emits from the case.
We happy?
No answer from the transfixed Statler.
Statler,
Statler looks up.
we happy?
We happy.
Good. We're going to get out of here and let you get back to your burger breakfast.
Just like that?
Yeah, that's not how this scene's supposed to go.
Aren't you supposed to quote the Bible or something?
Waldorf and Statler turn and look back at the rats, staring them down.
Have you seen the rest of this movie?
The rats shake their heads. No.
Believe me, you don't want us to continue the scene.
Besides, all it saves between us and leaving this picture is the door, so we're just going to go.
But those lines are some of the coolest in the movie.
I thought you hadn't seen it.
Well, we haven't. But who doesn't know those lines?
It's fine then.
Waldorf takes a long sigh.
Ezekiel 26:18. The path of the bored Muppet is beset on all sides by the dumb jokes and groaners of evil bears. Blessed is he who, in the name of good taste and comedy, mocks the weak through the valley of silence, for he is truly the better performer and the saver of lost shows. and we will mock thee with great vengeance and furious anger, those who attempt to derail and lengthen our shows. And you will know our place is the booth when we lay our judgment upon thee.
The rats look confused.
I don't think those are the right words.
Exterior apartment building hallway. Moments later, a clatter and chaos can be heard inside the apartment. After a few moments, the door opens and out walk Waldorf and Statler.
I swear, this young generation, no respect for their elders.
They should know better than to ask us to do more work.
Yeah, they should know we barely work as is.
I do have some good news for you, though.
Oh, really? What's that?
Statler pats the briefcase.
I did a sneak peek. We're not in the rest of this thing.
That is good news.
Want to stick around and mock them for the remainder?
That sounds like too much effort. Let's just mock them during the end credits.
That's better.
The two walk off towards the elevator.
Want a sneak peek?
Sure.
Statler opens the briefcase and shows Waldorf. It is at this moment we get a peek too. It's the script for this very reading.
I hope there's not a real narrative thread between all these.
Yeah, that's more effort than the writers want to put in.
How do you know that?
Well, who do you think wrote these words?
They both think for a second before looking right at the fourth wall.
So what? We just fade to the next one?
Yeah, quick question again. It'll just happen.
Snap cut to exterior, the wasteland. The convoy races through the chaotic wasteland known as Fury Road.
See?
Fire erupts from the back of one of the vehicles and the rest of the convoy cheers.
Manna.
Mad Animal is strapped to a silver car like a demented hood ornament.
Not fun, not fun.
There's an IV running from Animal into the driver's seat. Behind the wheel is Pepe. They drive past a floof warrior, blasting fire out of a guitar like a total pro. As Pepe approaches the head of the convoy, he leans out the window to signal their leader in the car next to him.
More teeth.
Dr. Teeth looks over at him and flashes his diamond-studded smile.
He looked at me. He looked right at me, okay?
Pepe's co-pilot leans in.
He looks at your blood bag.
Don't harsh my vibe, okay? You know he looked right at me. How could he not? I am King Thrawn, and I am awaited.
Pepe kicks on the nos and pulls ahead of the pack.
Witness me, okay?
Pepe's car pulls up to a large gas truck.
Let's get the buzzards off her back.
Sure enough, the gas truck is surrounded by large buzzards led by Uncle Deadly.
This is delightful. Gasoline is ours.
The co-pilot shoulders a spear and lets it fly right past Animal's head.
Head.
The spear explodes against one of the buzzards.
Oh my, this is a bit too extreme for my tastes. No one mentioned anything about explosions, and hot sun is doing no favors to my complexion.
Buzzards peel off and Pepe pulls closer to the gas truck. Pepe pulls up and locks eyes with the driver, Janice.
Stop the car, okay?
But this is a truck, so no?
Janice digs around in the console for a moment before pulling out the script.
No thanks.
Janice tosses the script out the window and it slaps across the windshield of Pepe's car.
This is not going to be good.
Pepe swerves all over the sand before flipping off into the sand.
Bad time.
The car rolls to a stop, upside down.
This is too dangerous, okay? We need rules for the parodies. I don't get the stunts paid.
Stunt pay.
Smash cut to interior Seattle apartment night. I'm not ready for this. Miss Piggy sits on a bed reading a large document.
The following are the terms of a binding contract between the dominant and the submissive.
Fundamental purpose of this contract is to allow submissive to explore her femininity and her limits of saviors.
Miss Piggy looks up to Kermit, who simply nods. He starts pacing, reciting the contract from memory.
The dominant and the submissive agree and acknowledge that all this occurs under the terms of this contract will be consensual, confidential, and
Kermit looks at Piggy, who's live streaming this whole thing.
Piggy!
Quiet.
Confidential!
Oh, right.
She turns back to her stream.
I'll fill you in next time in this whole contract thing. Bye.
Miss Piggy hangs up and turns back to Kermit.
Proceed.
The subject to the agreed limits the safety procedures set out in this contract. The submissive will agree to any activity deemed fit and pleasurable by the dominant, excepting those activities outlined in hard limits.
Are we excluding?
Clubs and rage rooms.
Oh.
The submissive will not enter into relations with anyone other than the dominant. The submissive will eat regularly to maintain her health and well-being from the prescribed lists of foods.
Oh, that reminds me. Can we have 5 Guys for dinner?
Depends. Is it on the checklist?
I don't know. I've seen anything. I've seen something about consent for a foursome, but I've never eaten there.
Let's just keep going, shall we?
You insist.
The submissive will conduct herself in a respectful manner to the dominant, and so only address him as Sir, Mr., the Frog, or other such title as the dominant may direct.
Or Kermit.
Fine, or Kermit. The submissive may not chop the dominant without his express permission to do so.
Kermit gestures to the document, which we now see is the script, and Miss Piggy reads.
The safe word is dinglehopper will be used to bring the attention of the dominant that the submissive is close to her limit. When the safe word mongoose is spoken, the dominant's actions will cease completely and immediately.
Kermit steps up behind her.
Does the submissive agree to be restrained with hands bound? Does the submissive consent to being blindfolded? Does the submissive consent to be gagged? How much pain is the submissive willing to experience?
You even tried it out.
Miss Piggy karate chops Kermit across the room.
Kermit, like this. It wants to simply hit your banjo collection and start taking lessons.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but the whole BDSM angle makes me uncomfortable.
BDSM? Oh, Kermit.
Kermit scrunches and gulps.
Oh.
Smash cut to interior hotel elevator night. Honeydew and Beaker stand in the elevator decked out as Ghostbusters. It occurs to me now in this moment we have never successfully tested this equipment. I blame myself. No getting around it now. Switch me on. Beaker flips a switch and is shocked, flung across the side of the elevator. Ding! Interior hotel hallways continuous. The door opens and they step out into the hall. Beaker trips in front of Honeydew and knocks over a maid's cart. Honeydew, startled, starts firing his proton pack all over the hall, hitting nothing. After a beat, he stops.
Mimi?
Astute observation, Beaker. We can do more damage that way. Honeydew takes one hallway, Beaker another. Interior hotel hallways continuous. Honeydew comes around a corner and stops in his tracks. In front of him floats the ghost of Beauregard. Beauregard is sweeping the hallway, doing his best to clean but affecting nothing. Honeydew steps back a bit and whispers back down the hall. Beaker? Beaker? Honeydew turns his attention back to Beauregard. What an odd amorphous blob.
I can hear you, you know.
I'm going to have to hold it myself.
I have been looking for someone to hold me.
Honeydew activates his pack and fires a beam of energy towards Beauregard.
Oh no!
Beauregard goes running down the hallway, waving his arms the whole way. He passes right through the wall at the end of the hall, leaving his broom behind. Interior hotel hallways moments later. Beaker steps into the hall, seeing someone stepping for a door. Beaker scans the man and then pokes him.
Stop that.
Nemo.
Beaker steps away. Beaker continues down the hall until he sees Beauregard float to a stop in front of him. Beaker pulls out his radio.
Me.
Beaker, I saw it. It was a full torso custodial apparition.
No.
Fascinating specimen, isn't he?
Me.
Don't move. He won't hurt you. Beauregard starts rushing down the hall towards Beaker.
Me.
Beauregard runs closer and closer.
Hug me.
Interior hotel hallways. Moments later, Honeydew runs towards the sound of Beaker's meeps. Finally reaches the hallway and finds Beaker's radio. Beaker?
Me.
Beaker?
No.
Honeydew looks up to the ceiling and sees Beaker entombed in slime, pinned in place. What happened?
No.
Beaker pulls out the script and starts wiping his face off with it. I always thought ghosts would be terrifying, but there's always scarier things. Exterior Brooklyn, night. Everyone stands around a room surrounded by hyper-stylized syringes.
Drugs and addiction are terrifying.
There's nothing worse than losing your sense of self to addiction.
Walter comes in screaming at the top of his lungs while reading the script. He shows them the cover page, which reads, Requiem for a Dream.
What are you screaming about?
Are you screaming about futility of life and death?
The never-ending trudge towards mediocrity and decay?
No, in this scene, I'm playing Jared Leto.
Stop.
Smash cut to interior Arctic base, night. Gonzo stands facing a grouping of others tied down to chairs.
Finish shining them up and get over here.
You got it, boss.
Gonzo aims a flamethrower at the chairs.
We're gonna draw a bit of everyone's blood.
Rizzo looks over from the chairs.
Whoa. I got a thing about blood.
What kind of thing is that?
I like keeping it in my body.
That's a good thing. But you know what's not a good thing? One of you.
Gonzo walks past the captive team. Rizzo, Fozzie, Crazy Harry, Link Hogthrob, and a very human Chris Hemsworth.
I got the idea earlier. Like maybe every part of this thing is a whole.
A-hole.
Whole.
Still not getting it.
Well, you see, when a man bleeds, it's just tissue.
And gross.
But blood from one of these things, I'll try to survive. Won't be able to help itself.
Interior Arctic base, moments later. Gonzo is now standing in front of samples from everyone.
Now, to show you what I already know.
Gonzo uses the flame to heat up a coil before dipping it into his sample, which looks closer to felt than blood. It instantly catches fire, exploding almost like a firework. Everyone ducks.
See? Totally normal.
Normal for who?
Gonzo heats the cable again, this time looking at Fozzie's dish. He touches the hot wire into the felt and it burns, closer to a smolder, but still burning.
There goes the answer to that burning question. Waka waka.
I guess you're okay.
Is he?
Crazy Harry chuckles insanely to himself.
I thought you might say that.
Gonzo heats the wire again.
Which is why we're gonna try you next.
Gonzo touches the wire into Crazy Harry's sample and Crazy Harry catches fire, but no one reacts.
No murder me.
Obviously.
This is pure nonsense. It doesn't prove a thing.
Likely story. So why don't we test it out?
Gonzo heats the wire. Rizzo looks around nervously. Gonzo goes to touch the wire into another sample. But before he can, Mjolnir comes crashing through the wall.
What the?
Hemsworth stands and catches the hammer.
I knew it. I knew he was a thing.
I'm not a thing. I'm just an Australian. And I'm here for a more important thing.
What's that?
Cross-promotional branding deals.
Hemsworth raises Mjolnir and instantly transforms into the mighty Thor.
Nice budget.
And be sure to check out Muppet Avengers.
Lightning crackles around him and he just stands there looking heroic.
Was that all?
Well, yeah, I was told to promote the thing, so I promoted the thing.
I think you missed a bit.
Chris pulls out the script and looks it over. Chris looks down at his script, then back up to Gonzo, panicked.
I'm like Hiddleston.
Without a word, Gonzo blasts Hemsworth with the flamethrower, dousing him in fire. Smash cut to Interior New York Stock Exchange day. Sam the Eagle walks up to a microphone.
I'm sure many of you have been hearing rumors lately about me, about the future of the Muppet Studio, and that's what I'd like to talk to you about today.
Sam paces for a few beats.
20 years ago, when Kermit entered us into this deal with Mr. Disney, I knew the day would eventually come when I'd be asked to move on. No one likes the fuddy-duddy. You can't build a theme park right around American values. And it is with a heavy heart that I tell you that day is here.
Murmurs erupt from around the room. People can't believe what they're hearing.
Thank you for your years of dedicated comedy and admiration.
Sam looks among their faces in the crowd, sees the sadness.
You know, for years, I've been telling everyone to never take an answer, to keep pushing the bounds of comedy while staying within the confines of good taste until you get the laugh you want.
Sam holds up the script for this scene.
And this script, they want me to sign off on? This scene was meant to be my final bow. They wish for me to perform this scene and simply retire? To give up the dream? And what the is that? I'll tell you what it is. It's making me a hypocrite. It's me taking no for an answer, leaving the stage before I get the laugh they want. Well, you know what? I'm not leaving.
Another murmur goes to the crowd.
I'm not leaving.
The crowd erupts into applause.
We've never been the biggest brand out there, but for a troupe that began with marketing coffee, I think we've come a long way. And we have so much further to go. We owe audiences more parodies, new musicals, Muppet Babies The Return, Pigs in Space, Firewalk with Me, Piggy Tonight. The possibilities are endless. And the only thing that will kill the dream is if we give up on ourselves.
The whole room cheers.
The show goes on.
Interior dance hall night. Kermit walks into the dance hall, adjusting the collar on his jacket. On stage, Muppets sing.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights.
Kermit walks over to a table, seeing Piggy. She perks up as he walks over.
Nobody puts Piggy in a corner.
Kermit takes her hand and leads her towards the stage. As Kermit and Piggy walk across, the singing Muppets stop singing, looking confused. Kermit steps up to the mic.
Sorry, everyone. I normally do the last dance of the season, but someone else tried that this year.
Kermit glares over at Constantine, who looks embarrassed and bandaged.
Hit it.
Time of My Life begins playing as Kermit and Piggy take center stage. The dance is impressive and sensual.
Oh, Kermit, I haven't danced like this in years.
Well, we'll fix that.
They both dance on the stage until Kermit gets so excited with the vibe he jumps into the crowd. Kermit does a little soft shoe down the aisle. The crowd seems to be loving it. Kermit turns back to Piggy and holds out his hand.
Really? Come on, Piggy, I got you.
Piggy comes off the stage and runs towards Kermit. She jumps into the air as Kermit tries to catch her. He steadies himself as she comes down, slamming them both into the floor. After a pained beat, Piggy is slowly lifted into the air. Kermit's eyes are bugging out as he struggles to hold Piggy aloft. After a few pained breaths, Kermit collapses to the floor, taking Piggy with him.
Ah!
Exterior forest, Rowlf looks down at the script in his hands.
I know what it says. A story like this deserves a climax.
He turns the page of the script and only catches one phrase at the top of the page. Musical number. He adjusts his large mutton chops.
A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rowlf starts bounding through the woods as music kicks up behind him. He tosses the script aside.
On this script, you'll find my new revision.
Rowlf rushes through various thugs, brushing them aside with ease.
Read it well. When I at last start grooving.
Rowlf jumps high into the air. The thugs he knocks aside fly through the air in artistic slow motion.
It's a story of a dog who turned to music. The pup who only learned to play to keep his dad from cruising.
Janice pokes her head out from behind a tree.
Like, come with me where franchise cannot hold you. All day long, just spent simply playing. Henson above, look down on us with glory.
Forgive me how I wet the rug and point out the piano.
Take my hand, I'll lead you to the ending. Share my groove, for funk is everlasting.
Rowlf takes Janice's hand and they dance to the woods.
And remember that Henson birthed the Muppets. To do more shows without his glow is just an uphill climb.
Rowlf stops and looks off into the distance. He sees Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem standing on the remains of the 20th Century Fox logo, old bicycles, cans of Wilkins coffee, and a neon sign for Muppets Now. Rowlf finds his way to a large piano.
Do you hear the Muppets sing, singing the song of parody? It is the music of the showmen who are missing all their fame. To those Disney Plus execs who don't know where we ought to go, a brand new show and movie is all that the fans require.
We could live again in specials like with Fozzie going live.
We could totally do a thriller, leave the crowd just wanting more. Will you join in our crusade, standing strong at Comic-Con?
Somewhere beyond the Disney years, is there a world we still could reach?
Do you hear the Muppets sing, singing the song of parody?
Is the song they sing tonight? It's the Muppet Show.
Will you stand here by our side, no matter what the future brings?
Somewhere beyond the Disney years, we have so many smiles to see.
Do you hear the Muppets sing?
You know, I really think I do.
It is the song they sing tonight, it's the Muppet Show.
Rowlf bows and falls into a large X-shaped hole in the ground.
And now a little time off, that's the agreement. At least till Ryan Reynolds comes calling. I love that little Canuck.
They all stand together singing the last notes.
The Muppet
Snap cut to interior scummy bathroom night. Scooter sits on the floor chained to a pipe on the wall. Scooter goes through the pockets of Bobo, dead on the floor.
Come on. Come on.
Scooter stops as he finds a tape recorder in the pocket. He pulls it out and holds it up.
Hello, Bobo. Or as they called you around the studio, Bobo. I want to play a game.
Scooter looks terrified. He can barely make out the sound of a cell phone ringing.
Right now, there is a script that needs an ending, and you will be that ending. But there are rules.
Scooter remembers.
But why?
It's the rules.
Scooter is so engrossed in the tape that he almost misses the large figure in the middle of the floor stand up and hang up a cell phone. Sweetums gets to his feet and stretches. Scooter just stares at him.
The key to the chain. That's better. The key to the chain should be the trub. I just got another gig doing background for Nicki Minaj. But yours is good here, right?
What? Another gig? But we're right in the middle of this one.
Okay. I'm what you call a working actor. That means I barely get enough work to not qualify for sorry, unemployment. I'll take whatever job I can get.
Sweetums starts to move towards the door.
You can't leave me here.
Sorry, I can't read. Haven't you read the script? I don't think I have a choice.
Scooter pulls out the script as Sweetums steps through the door. Scooter glances through the pages until he reaches the last page.
Wait. Is this the end?
Until next time, game over.
Next time?
Sweetums looks through the door and sees Denise standing there with a script in her hands. Sweetums looks at the title page. It reads, Muppets Go Back to the Movies, coming soonish, 2024.
What? Are we not gonna getting to do these movies this time? What about Fozzie as Joker? The Froggalorian? The Dog Father?
Leave them wanting more.
Sweetums shuts the door, leaving Scooter in darkness.
No! No! What the
12.
Paint to black. End.